Hi, this is Cam from Even Better Apps with a quick walkthrough of how to pre-calculate corporate gifting orders using send to many. Let me walk you through the process that I would use with Shopify draft orders and send to many to complete this kind of corporate gifting order. So first of all, to get the customer an invoice or a quote or estimate in advance, I would create a draft order manually, adding the products and the quantity to the order. I've got my customer loaded up here already from my store. And one additional step I would do is to reserve the items in inventory. So we'll hold those just until the end of the day today. Then if you wanted to add an estimate or a flat shipping rate, I would come in here and create a custom shipping rate, call it something like estimated shipping, and we'll make that $100 and basically $10 per order. If you wanted to add a discount, you could do that, and I would just leave the estimated tax blank. Then you can customize the invoice and send it to your customer. So you could call it an estimate or a prepayment. You could use that to collect an initial payment on this invoice. So that's outside of send to many. Then once the customer has finalized their recipient list, you could then import it into send to many in one of two ways. If they've paid the estimated draft that you created manually and sent to them, then you could create a prepaid invoice option in your send types. So we've got the products loaded up here. They match the items in our store. But in this case, we've got this preset to not take inventory from the store since we've already taken inventory for that first. So then after reviewing addresses, we can apply our actual shipping rates. And so in this case, we're using a rate that was more than we originally calculated. Okay, so now we've got a final amount, which is more than what we initially quoted the customer. And so what I would do from here is to create a draft invoice. This draft invoice has the full amounts that we entered, but what I would do here is to add a discount and put the flat amount that they paid. So it was $800 prepayment. And so they would just have $98 remaining on this invoice. Then you could resend them that invoice or enter the payment. In this case, I'll just mark it as paid. And then back in the send, you could process all these orders and generate those orders into the store. The other option, if the draft order is not paid by the customer in advance, would be to just use our regular corporate gifting workflow, entering the products and going through and just using the normal workflow to create an invoice, collect payment, and then automatically generate all the orders upon payment. So to wrap up, send to many doesn't currently have a way to create a draft or a quote in advance, but you can use manual orders to create that draft and either send it just as a quote to the customer or actually collect prepayment. And then from there, you have a couple options for how you manage the orders themselves with the uploaded addresses in send to many.